morning, good morning. I like to get going by doing my shoulder shimmies. I also probably need to release some energy. Anyhow, do some shoulder shimmies, y'all. Shake it on out. Anywho, all right. So, I've been hearing lately from folks in passing saying, oh my goodness, I don't want to be like my mom. I don't want to be like my dad. I don't want to be like my parents. I'm scared that I'm going to be like my parents. Let me tell you about something. Epigenetics. What is the definition of epigenetics? E-P-I-G-E-N-X. Epigenetics. E-P-I-G-E-N genetics. G-E-N-T-I-C-S. I crack myself up. EPI genetics. Go search it. But really, epigenetics. The definition, one of the definitions is, there's going to be sort of like slightly different versions, but the main core of the definition is a heritable change in gene expression, G-E-N-E, not your genes, your blue jeans, but a heritable, oops, got a call coming in. All right. A heritable change in gene expression, a heritable change in gene expression that does not involve changes to the, oh my goodness, to the DNA sequence. Sorry, y'all. Should have planned a little better for this. Sometimes I can't even to the underlying. A heritable change in gene expression that does not involve changes to the underlying DNA sequence. Okay, what that means is epigenetics rather than genetics. People talk about it's in your genes. Cholesterol is in your genes. Drama could be in your genes. Epigenetics is basically it's the environment that is affecting your DNA. Surprise. Yes, it does. There's studies, so many studies about how the environment affects your gene expression, affects you. And so for those who say, I don't want to be like my mom, I don't want to be like my dad, you know what it is? Simply, it is your exposure to your mom, your dad's personality. I'm popular. People are calling. Okay. It's the exposure to your mom and dad's personality from a very young age that then you inherit, you mimic. They talk about how kids mimic adults. Totally true. And so it's a trip because, kids mirror people. Kids mirror their parents. So what happens is, as kids, we accidentally inherit things that may not be useful to us. We adopt traits that may not be useful. And therefore, people start saying, oh my gosh, how scary. That was just like my dad. That was just like my mom. Yuck. I don't want to be like them. Don't freak out. You can reprogram your mind. You can reprogram the gene expression within you by simply training. Train your brain. There's so many different techniques out there. Find one that resonates within you. I like to listen to theta wave music. that has subliminal messaging that says, I am powerful, I am love, I am successful, I succeed in everything that I put my mind to. You know, it's just again and again. It's like training, you know, like an athlete. You just train. Like, how are you going to train to run that whatever 100-yard dash, whatever it is? You just train. Your body gets into the routine. You train and train, and then you also visualize. So you can reprogram your brain. You can. You know, it's interesting that first of all, we all know that everything is energy, right? Everything is energy. We are energy. Everything is energy. And therefore, there's this interesting thing that but basically the environment affects people. And when you really think about that, think about when you travel to or go to, like, I don't know, like a sacred place or nature or something like that. Depending on sort of like how you feel about it, underlying, you know, you could be triggered by nature, or you could be inspired by nature, depending on how you feel about it. But everything is energy, and so there's something to be said about going into low-income places and just feeling a vibration in that. Going to places that are inspirational, there is a vibration there. And so it's interesting that there is also this, not only the environment is affecting, not only can the environment affect your gene expression, your DNA, not only that, but your heritage. And we have seen that, you know. That's why people talk about, oh, ha ha ha, it's typical that blah blah blah, it's typical this, because it is a it's a generational exposure again and again and again and again to those individuals. And therefore there's, you know, commonality within an ethnic group. There's a commonality within even genders. And so what happens is we accidentally, I'm going to use the word vow that I got from Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith. We accidentally take vows with things that do not serve us. We take vows with being dramatic. We take vows of like perceiving things of negativity or the cup half full. And sometimes we start freaking out, like, why can't I shake this? It's because you have to introduce a new concept. When you let go of habits that are no longer serving you, you must replace them, because the brain, the mind, like a muscle, wants to just latch onto something. It's like, okay, I don't have that habit anymore, so what you got for me? If there's nothing there, then it will just go beep, looking, up, boom, I'm going back to the past, boom. When you get rid of an old habit, you must replace it. You gotta fill it back up with something and introduce new concepts so that you can train your brain to think of this new thing. And you must be patient with yourself. You have to. If you look at yourself as a child, if you look at yourself as your pet, someone that you love, who you would have sympathy and empathy and love for, you would just think of yourself as that entity and be patient with yourself. Because again, you're not necessarily going up against, but you're basically maybe kind of, you've been a sleepwalker for all this time and thinking like, oh, why is this happening to me? Or, oh my goodness, the same thing happened to my mom, and the same thing's happened to me, and some people could even say like, oh, we're cursed. It's not true. You're accidentally sipping on the Kool-Aid of wrongful thinking, y'all. It's no bueno. No bueno. So, there is an abundant amount of proof that says you can reprogram your brain, and you can start anywhere at any time. Okay? You see these people like Tony Robbins, you see people like all these people who have come from like really difficult childhoods, and then now they're doing great, huge things, and it's sort of like, man, people say, I could never do that or whatever. It's like, yes, it's all within us, and we all have our own special journey. Okay? And we all have our own timeline. So today I invite you to embrace who you are today. All the nooks and crannies and all the funkiness that then had to happen in order for you to truly shine. Okay? We have to embrace every nook and cranny of ourself, because that is part of our own personal tapestry. We have to, today, I invite you to love on yourself and to forgive yourself and to say, I'm fine. Not to say, oh, look, I didn't do this today, and I didn't do that, and I didn't do that. Holy Toledo. Why don't you just start off with saying, I woke up today? Because truly, there are situations where people don't wake up. Okay? They pass away in their sleep. All right? So your heart is still beating for another day. We take that shit for granted, which is so crazy, because again, we accidentally take vows with maybe social media where, people are posting, an airbrushed life. Like, people are posting, oh, we're in love and we're so da 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 da. But then truly, you talk to those individuals, and like that day, it was like, oh, right before you posted, or right after you posted, you got into this huge argument, or you were, you know what I mean? Anyways, this video is not about that. It's all about embracing you and knowing that you can change your mind. You can reprogram yourself. Absolutely. You can teach an old dog a new trick. Okay? It's true. You can change your mind. You have to want to do it. And then the magic happens. What is the term? You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. So if you're thinking like, well, yeah, change sounds nice, don't look at it as like a separate thing from you. Look at it as an opportunity for yourself. Like, why not me? Why can't I change? Yeah, I'm included. This universe, okay, this earth is all-inclusive. You have the all-inclusive pass to a fucking fantastic destiny. You have that. We all have that. It all depends on what you want to do with it. We all have free will. Absolutely. We could be told, oh, you're going to be rich. But then will you really believe that? Or will you go back to, oh, yeah, okay. Believe it. So, baby steps for y'all, for me. I invite you to just appreciate you, to just note the things that you like about yourself. It could just even be your fucking handwriting. Like, wow, look at the way I do my R's and my L's in cursive. Ooh, special. Seriously, you're a badass. You have to activate the acknowledgement of the badass within you. You have to activate it. And you have to give it kudos. And And you have to really come from a place of love and appreciation of yourself. If you cannot love and appreciate yourself, then you cannot truly, truly, truly love and appreciate other people. You're just going to love them from a percentage. You're going to love them, 50%, because you only love yourself 50% and appreciate yourself 50%. I invite you today to just hug on yourself, embrace yourself, inhale and hold your heart, because before this meat suit occurred, you were just a little tiny, 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 tiny heart. When your mama went in for her sonogram, ultrasound, the doctor, the technician, would look for the heartbeat, to see if this pregnancy was viable. They already saw the amniosac, blah, 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 the little cells. But in order to determine that there was life, the technician who was running the ultrasound, sonogram, whatever it's called, beat. So before you became eyes and all the meat suit, you were a heartbeat. So appreciate your heart that is pumping, that's working without you even thinking about it. It's on automatic. That's a gift. That is a gift. And that's pretty powerful, because once your heart gives out, then show's over. Show is over. For at least in this earth realm. But anyways, I invite you to love on yourself. Love on yourself, people. Truly. And every day, say to yourself, I love me. I love myself. I love me. Look at yourself. Gaze into your eyes in a mirror and just really look into your eyes. And just get lost within your own eyes. It's pretty amazing. Do some mirror work where you look in the mirror and you just... And here's the trick. Let's see how many seconds you can go without starting to think about, like, oh, I can look at my eyebrows. Look at the zone. I gotta fix that. Count. How many seconds before you start thinking a negative thought about yourself? Really. Look at yourself. Embrace yourself. Love yourself. There are so many good qualities about you. It's all about love. Love conquers all. So guess what? Love will conquer that accidental vow that you've taken with negative thoughts, then expressing into negative behaviors. Okay, love will conquer that. Absolutely. It's cliche. Love conquers all, but it does. And then some people will start to say, oh, but love is not enough. Love is enough. When people say love is not enough, they're talking about not love. They're talking about a feeling of deep, 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 deep caring, but not love. Love is unconditional. We know this. So when I say love conquers all, it truly, truly does. When you drop into that heart energy, when you just are doing something that you love to do, like listening to music, painting, cooking, and you're just really dropping into your heart, and you feel like, wow, I feel like alive. I feel like, one with myself. That you're activating the heart chakra. You're activating your heart. And when you drop into your heart, when you drop into that energy, it begins to awaken the love within you. Have a great day.